Severed by Marc Cage. Copyright 2017. She braced her forearms against the cold metal of the railing. Under her feet was only an old concrete bridge keeping her from plummeting into the rushing river below her. The white water was violent, so violent that splashes from the crashing below were hard enough to send water droplets 30 feet in the air. The cool droplets settled along the underside of her forearms. She didn't have enough care to wipe them dry. Instead, she stood still, completely still, watching the water below her flow like empty slides from an old film reel. It wasn't clear at which point the switch flipped. There was no clear day, just a gradual dissociation from her. Maybe if she had noticed his changing months ago, it wouldn't be so painful now. He now felt to her as much of a stranger as he was the day they met. That day was still so vivid. It was only a little over a year ago, but the memories were like pictures burned into the back of her eyelids. She was always alone at school. Her locker was the only one that was filled with more black than pink. She was never without a sketchbook and a pair of headphones. Nobody wanted to associate with her. The other students at her high school joked that if they got too close, she'd put a spell on them. They called her a witch, they said she had fangs, they teased her when she'd leave a room. Mariah could always hear them laughing when the door shut behind her. The thing was, though, she never minded. She knew they were insecure and were just trying to impress each other. She didn't blame them for being completely controlled by their hormones. In a way, she even sympathized with them. She just went about her day and kept to her own business. When she had a free moment from teachers blabbering on, she'd use her time to sketch. Her notebook was filled with abstract self-portraits. Liam was always in the group with those who laughed at her, but he never laughed along with them. He actually liked her and found her intelligence and disregard for those around her to be endearing. He never knew how to approach her, though. One day he decided to just do it. He just walked straight up to her locker and asked her if she wanted to go out with him. That's how it all started. He fell for her as she was, but eventually the novelty of her uniqueness wore off. He started making slight hints that she should change. It started with making comments about things they passed in the mall. "Oh, that dress would look nice on you. Would you ever wear a necklace like this?" These comments were harmless, but eventually it led to him only wanting to hang out with her in private. He never wanted to go to parties with her. He stopped inviting her over for dinner with his family. Prom was coming up, and she was excited for him to ask her. But that invitation never came. She knew why. He was embarrassed of her. Prom is something that remains in memory for a lifetime. Why would he want his memory tarnished by someone who looked as if she was at a funeral, not a prom? She knew what she needed to do. She needed to conform. Her love for him didn't make her hesitate for a second on that conclusion. The next time they went to the mall together, they walked past a dress shop. She stopped for a moment in front of a teal sequined dress. "I want to try it on," she told him. "The dress? What? You only wear black," he replied, surprised. "I think it would look nice on me, for prom." He looked at his shoes for a moment before replying, "Yeah, prom. It would look great on you. You should try it on," he said finally. The dress was simply a snowball. It wasn't long until she ditched the clunky black boots and left the black behind in favor of light colors. He seemed overjoyed. Things went totally back to normal. She was welcomed back to his home. He walked with her to her classes. He even kissed her in the presence of other people. Things were great. For a while, anyway. She wished she could say that she wasn't totally blindsided by his breakup. She shouldn't have, but that's the reality of the love blind. You never see it coming when you deeply believe it never will. It happened only a month after prom. He told her, "You've changed." She could have punched him square in the jaw for that. She changed because she felt she needed to. She felt it was the only thing she could do to alleviate his coldness, but she didn't. She didn't react at all. She shut down and quietly walked away. That's how she's been ever since. She tried to let somebody in, to expose herself, by making herself vulnerable. That's a lesson that you never forget. Being herself was better than being somebody else at any cost. The breakup cut deep, like a true knife wound to her heart. She knew that Liam wasn't all there was to life. She knew that someday somebody would love her for her. And so she went on. She focused on her art. Eventually, she'd stumble upon a community that was not only accepting of her, but was excited to have her be a part of them. They didn't force her to sing in universal ways, and they truly loved her for her differences. She was on a journey to heal.